Well, Barack Obama may not be the only one with a pastor problem. John McCain has received the endorsement of a controversial televangelist by the name of John Hagee. Hagee has made some headlines himself for describing the Catholic Church as, quote, a false cult system. And he once described Hurricane Katrina as part of God's judgment on New Orleans, although he later backed away from those comments. So far, John McCain has not denounced Hagee. Holly Bailey wrote about John McCain's relationship with John Hagee for Newsweek, and it's been one of the most viewed articles online. Well, Holly, John McCain says that this pastor problem is different than Obama's controversial minister Jeremiah Wright. How does he explain this relationship and those comments in particular?
Well, the first thing he does is he has denounced Hagee's comments about Hurricane Katrina, about the Catholic Church. He's quickly noted that this was not a guy who was his pastor for 20 years, which is clearly a dig at Barack Obama. But the fact is that John McCain did actively court John Hagee's support. More than a year ago, he went down to San Antonio, where Pastor Hagee's church is. They sat down, they had breakfast, they talked about shared goals and shared interests, which includes the protection of Israel. But the fact is that, you know, the McCain campaign says this is an issue of poor vetting, that they weren't aware of some of his controversial comments. But you have to wonder, because the fact that you Google John Hagee, a lot of this stuff already comes up.
Well, but he hasn't denounced and rejected, to borrow a term there, this particular reverend. Do you expect that to happen, or is he standing by him but distancing himself from the particular remarks?
Well, he's distancing himself from the remarks, but he's refused to reject the endorsement. He says that he respects what Pastor Hagee has done in terms of standing up for Israel, those shared common goals. But the fact is I think that this will become a bigger issue. Democrats have really tried to make hay about this, especially in the light of all the controversy surrounding Barack Obama and Jeremiah Wright. So I'd imagine this isn't an issue that's going to go away for John McCain.
But, I mean, I guess the undercurrent here is that there's something of a double standard, that the Jeremiah Wright comments were, let's face it, on an endless loop on cable TV for quite a bit of time, and that McCain isn't necessarily receiving the same scrutiny for some pretty controversial remarks in their own right.
Well, definitely. I think there hasn't been an equal focus. You know, the McCain campaign says that the fact is that Pastor Hagee, John Hagee, was not John McCain's pastor, and they sort of try to explain it away that way. But the fact is I think that people will start giving this a lot more scrutiny. There's certainly a lot of Democratic organizations that have been making a big deal about this, and I imagine it's not going to go away in the general election.
Okay, Holly Bailey from Newsweek, an interesting piece. Thanks for being with us today.